kapwa. Magpasalamat kita sa mga balaog na naresibi, asin iheras naman ini sa ibang tao, lalo na sa mga nangangaipo. Ini po si Vice Mayor Nelson Ligacion, kaibanan si Mayor Jan Bongat, asin ang gabos na miyembros kan Sangguniang Panlungsod. Nagpapaabot nin maugmang Pasko, asin mas progresibong bagong taon. Burunyog po kita sa padagos na pag-asenso kan Naga.
Our cultural journey takes us to another exciting route as we will celebrate Baguio's vibrant visual arts as we launch the second My City, My SM, My Art here at SM City Baguio.
Ang susunod na programa ay rated PG. Ito ay nangangailangan ng patnubay at gabay ng magulang para sa mga batang manonood.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Karen Navarrete Anton, and this is my beautiful Baguio. Over the past few years, the My City, My SM series has showcased the different facets of Baguio's rich culture, its tourist attractions, its cuisine, and most recently, its artisan crafts. Today, our cultural journey takes us to another exciting route as we will celebrate Baguio's vibrant visual arts as we launch the second My City, My SM, My Art here at SM City Baguio. Baguio City is a natural haven for artists, combining the rich ethnic culture of the Cordilleras with Baguio's breathtakingly beautiful scenery and cosmopolitan landscape. Weaving and sculpture are among the earliest expressions of indigenous art in the region. These include exquisite woven wonders, as well as bulol guardian figures believed to contain spirits ensuring abundant harvests. Shaped like a rice mortar, the distinctive base of the sculpture is a visual link to its spiritual purpose. Today, Baguio is a vibrant art haven with two organizations founded in the late 1980s leading the way. These include the Baguio Arts Guild and the Arts Foundation of the Cordilleras under Divina Bautista of the University of Baguio. The original founders of the BAG were Kidlat Tahimik, Dave Baradas, Santiago Bose, Ben Cabrera, Inong Geslani, and Rolando Villanueva. Second and third generation artists are now at the forefront of the Baguio art scene. 1987 ushered art workshops, and in 1989, with the full support of the Department of Tourism and the Philippine Tourism Authority, the first Baguio Arts Festival was held under Dr. Dave Baradas. Art spaces like the Tamawan Village, Ilikha Arts Village, and the Ben Cab Museum have also contributed to Baguio's thriving art scene. Part Museum of Indigenous Culture, part Artist Collective, the Tamawan Village brings to life the Cordilleran culture and tradition for the next generation. Film director and writer Kidlat Tahimik's Ilikha Artists Village, on the other hand, is a hub for artistic minds, showcasing the rich culture of the Cordillera people with a touch of nationalism, with paintings, sketches, and sculptures of indigenous tribes. The Bencab Museum celebrates the work of national artist Benedicto Reyes Cabrera as exhibits by contemporary Filipino artists. Other places of interest for art lovers are the Merinol Ecological Sanctuary, the Botanical Garden, now home to the BAG, the Victor Oteiza Community Art Space, Arco ni Apo, Cafe by the Ruins, Mount Cloud Bookshop, Hill Station, and the Baguio Media Museum, owned by BAG founding member Art Tebaldo. A joint project of SM, the Metropolitan Museum of Manila, Shell Philippines, the Philippine Star, with support from the National Commission for Culture and the Arts and Center Stage Productions, My City, My SM, My Art is a celebration of Philippine visual arts, painting, sculpture, printmaking, photography, and filmmaking. We're bringing art and people together by showcasing the works of masters, modernists, and the millennials in a roadshow around the SM supermalls. Advocating art for all, we're working with communities to mount exhibits, workshops, and contests in key cities around the Philippines. Jordan Mangosan, a Philippine-based artist, calls his work solar drawings. Solar art utilizes sunlight, replacing paints and brushes with a simple magnifying glass to paint an image into a canvas. Mang Osan's beautiful pyrography drawings are born out of patience. He slowly and meticulously applies the solar heat onto the wood for months. The heat then creates dark shades and lines on the initial drawings, producing artwork with impressive, intricate details. Simply put, amazing. Mang Osan, who hails from the mountainous Cordillera region, highlights the culture, tradition, images, and landscapes of the Cordilleras, as well as its motifs and symbols in his works. He has done numerous solo exhibitions in the Philippines and abroad, and has garnered several awards and recognitions.
Jordan Mangosan na nagsimulang maging solar artist noong 1989 sa tulong ng batikang artist na si Santiago Bosi. Nag-apprentice ako sa kanya for almost a year. Then ako nang nagtuloy itong klaseng medium na ito nung namayapa na siya. Ang pyrography ay isang klase ng medium na gumagamit ka ng fire or anything na burned. So yes, so electric. Yeah. Yes, yeah, about fire. So solar drawing is under pyrography medium.
It is said that Mang Osan started with his journey with the arts at the age of 19, with pieces depicting Cordilleran subjects using raw indigenous materials on acrylic on canvas, mixed media, pyrography, and solar drawing on various surfaces such as handmade paper and wooden panels. In 1996, he started to help build Tamawan Village and Shanum Foundation with the aim to create an artist village in the midst of Baguio City, which will feature the culture and way of life of the highlands. This is, he says, one way of preserving the vanishing culture of the Cordilleras.
Ako as an artist, gusto ko lang sigurong makagawa pa ng mas magaganda pang artworks na tungkol nga sa tradition and culture ng aming tribo.
He is currently the president of Shanum Foundation and head of the Tamawan Village Artists.
Para sa akin, sa aking mga co-artists from Benguet and Baguio, sana ipagpatuloy natin ang larangan ng sining, na tangkilikin ng larangan ng sining dito sa Baguio dahil ang daming artist ng Baguio at sa Benguet. Ang kulang lang is simpre support. So dahil siguro sana balang araw may support na ng kagaya ninyo, mga SM ngayon sumusuportahan sa mga artists ng Baguio. So yan, so sa mga artists ng Baguio at sa Benguet, pagpatuloy lang natin ang gawin natin na tangkilikin ng sining.
We will meet another Baguio artist who makes use of nature to create his amazing works when My City, My SM, My Art returns. Gilbert Bergano Alberto comes from a family of woodcarvers from Hapao, Hungduan, Ifugao Province, where one can find the world-famous Banawe rice terraces. He started wood carving when he was 13 years old and then shifted to river stones and driftwood sculptures as a part of his fascination with the drift world. These are materials that seem of no use, yet celebrate life when fashioned into awe-inspiring art pieces. Alberto's artistic journey has taken him from the Cordilleras to Dubai, where he worked as a styrosculptor, and to Saudi Arabia, where he honed his skills as a painter and a rockworks artist. Back to his roots, he is known today for carving huge river boulders into Bontero-like sculptures. He won the best entry in the 1998 Philippine National Centennial Painting Competition. He became a government scholar and a Philippine representative in the second Delphic International Sculptures Camp held in Kuching, Sarawak, Malaysia in 2005. He received the Outstanding Citizen of Sablan on its 112th Foundation Day on November 22, 2012. As a self-tutored artist and one of the representatives who believe that this world is spiritual and art is a medium to affect change in society, Gilbert believes art is a service and blessedness.
It's in the blood, and it's quite hard to live with our artworks, but don't think of it as a hardship. Just think of our legacy that we will leave behind.
Baguio artists are so creative, with works ranging from solar drawings to river stone and driftwood sculptures. We will see how one artist works with coffee as his medium when My City, My SM, My Art returns. Patrick Palasi is known to be the foremost coffee painter in the City of Pines. He is also a watercolorist and acrylic painter. A self-taught artist who studied architecture, Patrick paints with coffee and ordinary charcoal or uling as his medium. Benguet Arabica, Barako, and Malaysian coffee are used to stain his works on canvas and paper. His subjects are Baguio scenes, Benguet landscapes, wooden spoons, and portraiture. He is a resident artist at Tamawan Village and a member of the Baguio Aquarelle Society.
When I was in college, I started with watercolor because I was in architecture. It was a challenge because most of my artworks are water media. It's close to watercolor, but it's like old photos. It's nostalgic. Yeah, my subjects are mostly old Baguio. That's why it fits. I use coffee. It is economic. You don't have to buy the tubes, acrylic tubes. You can find it in the kitchen.
We will see how one uber-talented Baguio artist works with human figures with his personalized style of bleeding colors when My City, My SM, My Art returns. Baldo is a well-rounded artist and communicator based in Baguio City. He is in the field of mass media while keeping his fire and passion in the visual arts. Art Tabal, as fellow artists call him, believes that he has matured to finally express himself through paintings after spending 3 decades in print, radio and television as a media specialist for the Philippine government under 5 presidents. A true multimedia artist, Art de Baldo studied fine arts, major in painting at the University of Santo Tomas, took up courses in filmmaking, video production, and joined Baguio's mass media in the early 80s as a photojournalist. He has produced award-winning short films, MTVs, and video documentaries. Currently, he works as a media specialist in the Department of Trade and Industry, Cordillera, and at the same time produces a local weekly cable television program called the This is Baguio TV show by Cordillera News Agency Television. De Baldo also serves as an in-house curator and museum director and is a member of the Igorot Global Organization Council of Elder.
I like to believe that I'm an artist, a multimedia artist with a lot of abilities to communicate through visual means. This time, I'll be using paints and brushes. I will attempt to do watercolors. And there's a style that I'd like to try this time, which is bleeding colors. With my background in conservative art, with details on like pilikmata and mga ugat-ugat or mga wrinkles, I'll try to deviate from that and try to play around with colors. I'd like to leave a legacy of Art Tibaldo as an artist, leaving behind works of art to try to influence, to try to inspire others.
Influenced by the conservative styles of old masters, Art Tibaldo will showcase his mastery of human figures with a touch of his personalized style of bleeding colors for My City, My SM, My Art. Based in Baguio City, Bumbo Villanueva is an active harbinger of art and considered as one of the more prolific and dynamic visual artists in the Philippines today. We'll learn more about Bumbo and his works when My City, My SM, My Art returns. Growing up in a family of artists, metal sculptor Bumbo Villanueva has made and shared his art through the years, becoming an artist for others.
My father is an art teacher in a school in Manila, Ateneo University. We were pretty much exposed in art. Him being an art teacher, I remember we used to play with art materials instead of the usual tonka or Lego.
As a sculptor, he is focused in promoting the indigenous roots of the different tribes in the Philippines.
I make it a point to share what I have. Even to the point wherein if I'd be a businessman, I would be rich. Diba? But I'm not a businessman eh, diba? It's not mine to keep. To begin with, it was just lent to me. Diba? By him, by whatever.
As a performing artist, he combines spirituality and our root race, expressing the very soul of man's coexistence with the environment.
So it's like a way of showcasing another art form combined with another art form, sculpture and performance, using the body as the medium. The process is like me meditating. Sometimes I even light a candle and I got incense sticks, maybe to condition myself to be in that space that is suited for me to create a work of art.
As an art educator and a father, he is dedicated in preserving the vanishing traditions of the tribal community so that his children's children would know their roots.
We're not really from Baguio. I was born in Manila. It's like respect, in short. It's like my homage to the people here in the Cordillera.
He is constantly working with different sectors of the community and has continuously spearheaded and participated in various social and cultural activities such as the Earth Day chalk drawing and Sanpayan, a community art installation of over 600 sun drawings of children. Bumbo is currently an art teacher of an ongoing alternative learning system for the out-of-school youth in Baguio City. He is a mentor for other aspiring young artists, sculptors, and is active in community work.
What's important is that you have this interest in what you're doing. Your passion will reflect on what you do. You don't have to be an artist to really, bring meaning into life.
It is heartwarming to know how Baguio artists are committed to their art as much as they are to their communities. We will see how another young artist combines her craft with her love of teaching and the environment when My City, My SM, My Art returns. Farah Manuel is a graduate of Fine Arts major in Visual Communications in the University of the Philippines, Diliman. She has technical training in animation, printmaking, and graphic and multimedia design.
I started doing art. I'm making art when I was in college. So that's between 1999 to 2003. I think most of the artworks I make are inspired by places I visit and also people whom I meet in those places. The artworks are representatives of those places. When people see my work, they associate it with minimalist forms of art as well as the feminine. So instantly they can relate it to a female artist. I'm not sure how, but maybe through the elements that I use or the subtle quality of the work. My dream is for students of arts and for practicing artists outside of Baguio or inside of Baguio to have a good relationship so that when they come together, they would be able to relate experiences with one another based on making art and their experiences as artists. The moment that you are able to represent yourself as a female artist, that to me is already an achievement. And the more that you're able to relay stories as being a female to others, then I think that's also a good achievement.
Women indeed are energizing the Baguio art scene. We will get to know more about the works of another woman artist, Kelly Ramos, who is not only a painter but a writer, when My City, My SM, My Art returns.
Nag-start ako sa mga yung summer art workshops when I was a kid. Ganun lang. Tapos, then on from there, yung mga contest, yung local contest, so nananalo ako. So after that, yun, pumasok ako sa UP Fine Arts. Tapos, tuloy-tuloy. I like collaboration. I like collaborative work. Pero meron din akong works na on my own. When I started sa workshops, exploring lang yun of yung art, yung material. So, nag-start sa charcoal, tapos, pencils, pastels, watercolor, tapos oil. Later on, parang nag-focus ako sa oil painting, pero I also explore other medium. When I finish a project, parang on to the next one. So, you can't rest on your past achievements.
Art Lozano is from the Ilocos region and is part of the Tamawan group of artists in Baguio City. Over the years, he has evolved into an artist who uses the environment around him to reflect on his canvas. Lozano's work reflects his eclectic style using a variety of mediums available, playing on current events as well as his reflections on the plight of his countrymen.
Parang ang sarap kasi i-express yung pintura na itapal mo lang. Parang ang sarap yung texture niya na tinitignan mo. Parang sakto dun sa abandoned beauty. Abandoned na sasakyan, sakto lang yung tema niya. Parang experiment lang na parang nagsawa siguro ako sa brush. Kasi dati ako pointillism pointillism ako para aboriginal art. So gusto ko naman na baguhin, parang evolution ng ko. Mas free naman tong ginagawa ko kasi tapal mo lang yung pintura, gamitan mo ng kutsara, saka yung palit at saka yung konting detail ng brush, yun lang.
Lozano hopes to become a reflection of realities close to him, both of the highland community where he has grown, as well as the areas he has immersed in.
Inspiration ko kasi yung sasakyan ko dati. Nagamit ko naman sa pagtulong sa mga transportation ng mga exhibit ko. So, ang nangyari, nawalan ako ng gana. Tapos, nung nilagay ko sa taas, hanggang sa tinubuan na ng mga sayote, gano'n. Tapos, after 5 years, binalikan ko doon sa taas kung saan nabandon na yung sasakyan. Parang doon ako na-inspired na bakit hindi ko bigyan ng buhay ulit. Eto na siya. So, nagkaroon siya ng panibagong buhay.
In his spare time, Lozano teaches children all over the country the art and economic benefits of the monoprint design. He hopes that through the craft, the next generation will be inspired to venture in the arts with the means to sustain their passion.
Yun yung parang gusto kong, parang legacy ko naman na kahit hindi man makilala yung painting ko, pero may naiambag ako sa community. Sa mga bata, parang na-inspire ko sila.
Our homegrown artists never fail to surprise us. We have more when My City, My SM, My Art returns.
The artist Norman Chow studied humanities at the Ateneo de Manila University. Known as a watercolorist and a Chinese painter, he is also an art teacher and a lecturer. As an artist, he has done solo exhibits locally and abroad.
We always go to the mountains to paint on-the-spot painting. So that started my career as a painter. I am a social realist. So I paint or draw whatever issue that I am interested in. The number one is your message. How do your viewer react to your work? What I like here in Baguio is the culture. Well, the happiest time is when my students tell me that, thank you, sir. You know, I learned a lot from you. That's the happiest moment. Yeah, I want them to appreciate. They get the message.
It's always the message.
That's the message. Yeah. Not how good I am to paint, but the message is important to me.
A photograph has the power to infinitely tell a story more than a document. It can transport us to unseen worlds. We will learn more about this through the lens of Rick Manikis when My City, My SM, My Art returns. Photographers use their cameras as tool of exploration, passports to inner sanctums, and an instrument for change. Their images are proof that photography matters now more than ever. Rick Manikis is a photographer and a musician. Equally devoted to his two passions, he approaches these two art forms with a sensibility seen only on one who is both an artist and a musician. Rick finds subjects or scenes that tell a story, revealing beauty or hidden poetry in common everyday life, sometimes lending a face to the unseen or a voice to the incognito. Using the camera as a creative tool, he explores uncommon ways of seeing, stepping outside his comfort zone to capture an image that is fresh, different, or extraordinary. While his works may be classified as fine art, documentary, anecdotal, and symbolic, Rick has a preference for images that are calm and personal. Rick produces visual narratives where the photographs project the photographer and articulate the spirit of his subjects. People, places, or moments that still move him.
It's both my inspiration and my purpose to be able to capture scenes that are calm and quiet. I want that sense of serenity, basically. That's what I try to get in whatever picture I take, whether it's landscape, close-up, even pictures of people. I want to have to convey a sense of quietness, of calmness. It's relaxing for me and hopefully for the viewer. You try as much as possible to appreciate all the other arts, because you cannot, I believe you cannot be good at a particular art if you're just confined to it. It would be good to be exposed to all the other arts.
At 7, Ben Cab started painting on the pavement and on the walls. His older brother Salvador, who was already an established artist, was a great influence on him. He took him everywhere and exposed him to the world of art. In 1954, his family moved to Bambang, a busy but poor district in Tondo, Manila. It is there where he first started to develop a deep sympathy for the underprivileged. Ben Cab was in the 6th grade when he won his first art award for his entry in a poster contest with a human rights theme. He received 100 pesos as part of his first prize. Ben Cab began carving a niche for himself in Manila's art circles shortly after receiving his bachelor's degree in fine arts from the University of the Philippines in 1963. At age 24, he held his first solo exhibition of oil and acrylic paintings at the Indigo Gallery in Mabini, which he established with Brother Salvador and friends Bibsi Carballo and Francisco Navarro. It was here that he introduced the character Sabel for the very first time. After living and working in London for 13 years, he returned to the Philippines in time for the People Power Uprising in 1986 and chose to settle in Baguio City. Here, he co-founded the Baguio Arts Guild in 1987 together with other Baguio-based artists Santiago Bose, Roberto Villanueva, and Kidlat Tahimik. As chairman of the 4th Baguio Arts Festival in 1993, he helped put Baguio on the map of global art with international artists participating in art exhibitions, installations, performances, music, and dance. Ben Cab also helped set up Tamawan Village in Baguio for the preservation of Cordillera culture and traditions. It is a cultural preserve and living museum showcasing authentic traditional Ifugao huts in a replication of their original setting in the Cordilleras. He established the Ben Cab Museum in 2009 to house his collection of Philippine contemporary art and materials from the indigenous culture of the Cordilleras. Ben Cab has received numerous awards, and he was conferred the Order of National Artist for Visual Arts by President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo in Malacañang Palace in 2006. This afternoon's episode has given us the opportunity to learn more and celebrate the works of Baguio's very talented visual artists. We would like to thank Mr. Benedicto Ben Cab Cabrera for being part of the special episode with us. Our special thanks also to Baguio artists Jordan Mangosen, Bumbo Villanueva, Art Tibaldo, Patrick Falasi, Norman Chow, Gilbert Vergano Alberto, Art Lozano, Rick Menikis, Kelly Ramos, and Farah Manuel for sharing their amazing works with us. In behalf of SM, the Metropolitan Museum of Manila, NCCA, Shell Philippines, Center Stage Production, and the Philippine Star, we wish to thank you for joining us in My City, My SM, My Art. Join us next month as My City, My SM, My Art goes to Laguna. This is Karen Navarrete Anton. Matago-tago tako amin.
Mga gamit